I really went off on, this is what I need more than the average person, and if you can't give that to me, you may as well walk out right now.
Hey, what's up guys, I'm Paige.
I'm Holly.
And today we're saying the story of how we almost broke up.
Almost, keyword almost.
Didn't happen, but very close.
Very close. This is just gonna be chilled out, chit chat type of vid. We've done a lot of like the high energy, fast paced ones. We're gonna give a little variation and
slow it down a bit.
We promised this story for 200K. I think we're at 197 right now. To us, that's close enough. You guys have been fucking phenomenal throughout this entire journey.
And maybe by the time that this goes out, we may hit 200K and
maybe.
We just were little mind readers beforehand.
The important thing to remember is there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. We're not having a fight and turning on the camera to be real. We're always in a good mood when we film. So this is just kind of like a little insight into some of the parts that we don't necessarily share. But I think it's going to be helpful because every relationship has rocky moments, ours included.
Oh, no, no, no.
So anyway, to get to the story of how we almost broke up, what we have to first kind of navigate through are love languages. That played a huge role in both helping and hindering our relationship. But luckily for us, we are the best we've ever been right now. So I'm hoping we can kind of tell this story without wanting to kill each other again.
I think that would be cute. Speaking of the best we've ever been, we do have a little announcement for you guys.
It's not a joke this time.
Not a joke at all.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Anyway, we'll get into Squarespace a little bit further into the video, but right now we are gonna take a quick love language test to figure out what our love language is.
We had done one several years back. I think we were about 4 months in, so this is literally almost 4 years ago now.
I think a lot has changed, but let's take the quiz and we'll talk about stuff from there.
Okay. I'm nervous.
11 minutes later.
All right, quiz is done. So let me just do a quick rundown of what love languages is if no one knows. Love language is how someone gives and receives love. So there are 5 ways, and depending on which one you are, someone can drown you in their type of love, but because you don't share that love language, you may not appreciate it or understand what they're doing.
It's basically all about communication and which way people like to be communicated with.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
When we were 4 months in, we took this test. I remember I was quality time and physical touch. Compared to now, I had no responsibilities at all back then. That's changed so much now that I'm an adult and it's horrible and I have all these things to do.
Back in the day, my main one was words of affirmation and physical touch. Sex drive was hella high.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
And there weren't a lot of cares or worries in the world at that point in time.
So let's get into what we have now. My number 1 was quality time by a landslide. It was 37%. Nothing says I love you like full undivided attention. Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there. TV off, fork and knife down, all the chores and tasks on standby makes your significant other feel truly special and loved. Distractions, postponed dates, or the failure to listen can be especially hurtful.
That's so you. My number 1 is words of affirmation. Actions don't always speak louder than words. If this is your love language, unsolicited compliments mean the world to you. Hearing the words I love you are important. Hearing the reasons behind that love sends your spirits skyward. Insults can leave you shattered and are not easily forgotten. Kind, encouraging, and positive words are truly life-giving.
Just the smile. So you have to understand, Paige and I could not be more opposite when it comes to this type of stuff. For me, my whole thing is actions speak louder than words.
Words of affirmation is the most different one on our charts.
And that's kind of where like the fights come in. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I do want to get into some questions I really struggled with.
Me too. There are some interesting ones.
My partner does things for me instead of just talking about doing nice things. Or I feel connected to my partner through a hug.
I screenshotted that one as a difficult one as well.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what would mean more because I want both. I like both.
I know, it's difficult. Which one did you choose?
I chose my partner does things for me.
Okay,
What did
mine
you
was
choose?
hug. We're at a different place in our relationship. So before when we started, this could have been a very serious problem that would really make or break our relationship. And at the beginning, we thought that each other's were right. And it was kind of like, well, why can't you do what I want for my love language? Why can't you just meet me at mine? And over time, over the past 4 years, I think that we've kind of found a middle and realize that there is no one or the other. You have to be able to both meet each other halfway.
Yeah, Paige's classic line to me when I'm upset is, why didn't you just tell me? Tell me what you need. Let me know what I have to do. Where I'm like, you should know what to do already. I don't want to have to tell you what I need when I'm upset. That has literally been the root cause of every single fight ever had.
Ever. Any fight ever has to do with us not understanding where each other is coming from. I like direct. Holly likes
for you to mind read.
Mind reader. And that's something I'm working on. I have been taking magician lessons, learning how to read the minds of others, and it's going well. I would say I'm learning slowly. You want to kill me right now. Am I right? She's building up like a balloon and she's gonna explode. Everyone's gonna think we're on the fritz, Holly. Fritz.
We're not on the fritz.
No, we are.
In fact, we're perfect.
We should write a blog and let people know how perfect we are, and maybe they can learn something.
It's a really good idea.
Should I do that?
Do it right now.
I'm gonna do it.
One sec.
Thanks to Squarespace, creating a blog is easier than ever. I can share photos, videos, and stories of our perfect relationship all in one place. Plus, I can even categorize them by type. Whether it's cute, sexy, mushy, or funny, we've got the content for you. Oh, God, it's exhausting being this perfect.
Isn't it just? If you guys want to check out Squarespace for yourself, they have a free trial. We'll leave everything in the description box down below. And when you're ready to launch, you guys can go to squarespace.com/Paige and Holly and you'll get 10% off your first purchase.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that we wrote that advice column before telling them about our biggest fight and how we almost broke up.
Yeah.
Key timing there.
I love that.
Key timing.
Love that for us.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
If you guys remember, when I got drunk, I accidentally slipped that there was one time I almost broke up with Paige. Do I regret that now? Yes, but I do think it's important to be transparent.
We see a lot of comments on our videos basically saying like couple goals, stuff like that, you're perfect, like which we are, but we also wanted to show you guys that we're not perfect. We're like any other couple that goes through fights, goes through ups and downs, highs and lows, and has to deal with issues as they come up.
Of course, people are going to put their best foot forward online. That's social media in a nutshell. So we're going to lead with our worst foot this time, and we'll see how we go.
Did you like that?
I did. Okay, so let's set the scene here. So I haven't fully like dove into this online yet. I've kind of like alluded to it. Very, very long story short, my parents and I emigrated to Canada in 2008. Anyway, family circumstances happened and my parents moved back to England. Now, the plan was originally that my brother and I were gonna go back with them, but I started to really lay some concrete roots in Canada and felt very, very stuck. So my brother went back with my mum and dad and I stayed here. With that being said, obviously that was a very painful portion of life to be separated from my parents, kind of thing. And I love you, baby. At the start, I think when I was kind of like this and always very tearful and stuff, it was easy for Paige to see that I was upset and carrying a lot of weight. She was amazing. She supported me back to kind of like the new normal. I have so much support back home too. So eventually I kind of got into the swing of things. I read something on Instagram and it was like, just because someone carries it well doesn't mean that it's not heavy. So I think I had become accustomed to kind of dealing with this weight, but just not showing it. Paige, of course, because I'm not like properly communicating it and I wanted to just understand. So it was in the first 6 to 8 months of them leaving, I think. You were in final season at the time.
And I was studying for a big industry exam that I had going on. So we were both very, very stressed out even to begin with. And then you got sick.
So I had a really bad case of bronchitis. Really knocked me off my feet. I really miss my family. I live alone, so I was like off work, nothing to do, and no one around. And obviously Paige was like really focused on her school. So I was literally just like here by myself, feeling really sorry for myself. Things were really building up on my end. So we were both stressed, but not communicating, that we were both bubbling over separately. So that was a fun time.
I remember you being sick sick and you going to the doctor. And I was sending you a bunch of messages saying, I'm so sorry you're feeling this way. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. And lots of things that were words and things that would have made me feel better if I was sick. But I didn't take into any consideration that that wasn't what you needed.
So when Paige would say like, oh, I wish I was there to like look after you, I would reply indirectly and say, it sucks being home alone. So that's not me saying, come over, right. I need you.
I remember saying, like, I can't wait to see you, and as soon as I'm done my exam, I'll be over. Sorry.
You're leaning very far away from me.
As soon as I'm done my exam, sorry. I thought that that was gonna be fine because for me it would have been, but that's not the right way to think at all.
And I don't think you understood the weight of what I was feeling with my family.
Absolutely.
Anyway, another thing that I do, which is so fun of me, is if I feel like I'm dropping very obvious hints and they're not being picked up, I then go in my head and say, if she really wants to be here, she would be here. And it starts to play up and up and up, where that anxiety and depression that I was feeling then starts to be targeted at Paige. And now I've started to catch myself stop and be like, she's not trying to do this, like I just need to be more direct. But that's come from learning and growing through situations like this.
Yes. I think you were mad that I wasn't taking the hints and knowing that I should have come over.
Sounds about right.
Once I realized that I was hurting you, and that's when I came over. And remember, I stopped at Tim Hortons and I got you soup. And I came in, you were really not happy when I came over with that. And I think I took that really personally, that you weren't talking to me really. Now back to my love language, which is fully chatting away, talking, communication. Holly not giving that to me and being short made me really hurt, because I was like, why are you being this way with this? I can't understand it. And talk to me.
In my head, I'm like, too little too late. Like, where was this soup 4 days ago when I was like crying myself to sleep? We just totally saw the whole thing in a different lens. I did raise my voice at the end of this one.
I was gonna say, this is the one.
That's why we almost broke up. So we were going back and forth, and it's complete misunderstanding from both of our points. I think we're both quite stubborn and defensive, which also doesn't help fights.
Not at all.
Anyway, it built and built and built. Then it started getting into like, I may need more than the average person now that my family has gone. I understand that it's different than when we first started, but this is where I am now. And yeah, it was very high emotion. You were so stressed with your exam, but you also felt guilty for this. I was upset at the situation and I felt guilty for making you upset. So it was this whole just emotion sky high. I snapped. I snapped. I did it, hand on heart. And so I really went off on, this is what I need more than the average person, and if you can't give that to me, you may as well walk out right now. But I said it with a bit more
windows were shaken.
So that is the very peak of the fight. Me basically telling her to walk, and I think that shocked you.
Yeah, and it scared me because like I wasn't in that mindset at all with it. Like I don't think I realized just how much I had hurt you by not being physically actually there for you. Because to me, I'm like, I've been telling you, and it's like, no, I need to show you. And I remember instantly being so upset and scared, just saying, no, like I'm not walking. I want you and I want this. I'll do anything to make this work and to make you feel supported and loved. And then from there, that's when we had a really good conversation that was needed. And I think we both apologized. I apologized for not understanding, and you apologized for yelling.
And not communicating. So it was just a big ass miscommunication. And that is why we preach so much, because that was the worst fight we've had. And that was 2 years ago. The lessons we learned from that fight have literally saved all the others from getting to that point. We may or may not be at 200K yet, but that is what we kind of baited with way back when.
We do fulfill our promises. Sorry if it wasn't juicy enough.
That's
the story.
It's real, and this is our life. I hope you guys liked that little honesty sesh, and it was nice to kind of sit down and just chit chat. Reminded me of the good old days when we first started. I'm kind of really mushed now.
I'm mushed too. I'm so lucky to have you, and I know without that we wouldn't be the couple that we are today. So I'm so thankful for everything, and we've come a long way. I love you.
Hello. Who knows when the next video will be? I don't know what type of video it will be. We're very on the fly.
Loosey-goosey, baby. Loosey-goosey.
Loosey-goosey, Paige and Holly. That's what they call us.
Who?
The doctors. They better know where that's from, because we use that all the
time. That's very uncomfortable otherwise. Okay, we love you guys. Bye.